Good afternoon. It's the 420 Wellness Check with Bob and Billy. I'm Billy Hoffman. I'm an ICGC2 gambling counselor.
And I'm Bob Cabanis. I'm a recovering gambling addict. I'm the owner of Williamsville Wellness and Summit Hill Wellness. We help gamblers recover and other addictions. So, Billy, been an interesting week. Started off with the Super Bowl not that long ago.
And the Super Bowl, Bob, was
hard to believe that they didn't score a touchdown.
Nobody thought. Well, I think everybody thought Kansas City was going to win, even though they were playing the GOAT, and they didn't even get a single touchdown. So, for compulsive gamblers, a lot of people were probably shocked Super Bowl night.
Well, most compulsive gamblers, as I know, bet on the favorites, and they like to bet on the over also.
Yes.
Especially in that type of situation. So I've got a friend who did that, and he did not have a good day. And he also puts a parlay in there on top of it.
Yeah. Oh
so
my!
You have 3 bets to win 4, but you know the Virginia now has William Hill. MGM is another online bookie, and you know, we'll have up to 12. I think it's kind of absolutely insane. And the only people that are making a lot of money, Billy, are the billboard companies.
Right, and I don't know if you noticed this, Bob, but I've been getting plenty of complaints, you know, from other gamblers in recovery, and I've even seen it on my own social media. The Facebook with the William Hill stuff is crazy. The FanDuel, the DraftKings, William Hill, all of it is coming out. I finally clicked on, or I found where you can click to keep the ads from coming up, but it said in that in the text that the reason I was receiving this ad is that William Hill is trying to reach an age group or whatever. So the ads are all over the place. Maybe you've seen them on your stuff.
I don't go to Facebook, Billy. I'm so old I can't figure out how to work it, so I don't go there. So, you know, and I don't want to see those ads anyway. You know, it's you know, the lottery profits were up, I think, 37% last year. And that was before we had sports gambling.
Yeah.
So they'll be up a lot more this year. But they did have huge pools right at the end of the year, like $750 million each or something like that for the mega lottery.
Yeah.
Of course, having it at the end of the year, people give people
Christmas presents of lottery tickets. Yeah.
That's just so bad. Would you
it's terrible.
Would you give your 14-year-old a bottle of booze? That's not likely.
No, but everybody's stuffing scratcher tickets in Christmas stockings. I can tell you that, which is not good. You know, the other thing too, Bob, about the lottery, I was reading. You know, the big jackpots were a big part of that increase. Some were saying that, you know, maybe the COVID-19, you know, everything that's gone on with that could have caused maybe more play. And then the other piece is they have a mobile app. And if you sign up, when you load your first amount of money onto that app to play games online, they give you like 10 free scratcher tickets or something, 10 free games. So there's a lot going on.
Well, you know, when my mother was alive a long time ago, she used to play the lottery. And that was before the big Mega Millions and Powerball. It was the state of Virginia had its own little lottery. You pay maybe $300. This was 30 years ago. They pay $300,000 every week or two, up to $300,000. Never got much more than that. And she had it coming out of her account every week. She bought a ticket with the birthdays and the years people were born in the family. So she always would. if the numbers came up, they never did, and it was only $1 a week. So it just I always thought that was bad. And now that you can do it all with the mobile app, it's really bad.
Right, because you can do it anywhere, anytime. At work. That's not good. So the other thing too that I read from the lottery is they've gotten with the National Council on Problem Gambling or whatever to do different campaigns. But my question, Bob, to you is, how much are they? How effective is it? I mean, what more needs to be done? Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I think definitely more needs to be done, but I don't think when you have the people that are making money on gambling, to think that they're going to spend a lot of money for people that have a problem to stop gambling, I think is silly. Yeah. And I don't know how effective advertising can be. What you have is an impulse control disorder. That's what gambling basically is. And you have people that chase. And just because somebody comes on and tells you the dangers of gambling, you don't think it's going to happen to you until it does. Then it's too late.
Yeah.
Then you're chasing. They would be much better served to offer help for those that have a gambling issue, whether it be an online app, whether it be video, whether it be real, if the situation was bad enough, residential treatment for it. The sports gambling is supposed to pay 0.8% of the revenue to help problem gambling, or 0.08%.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 0.8% to help problem gambling of what they pay the state. The state's going to take 0.8%, but they're projecting $70 million. I think it's probably going to be 200, but 200 times 8% is $16 million. That's right. And what 1% would be? No, I take that back. It would be 1.6 million, which is a lot more than the 200 they currently spend when they make $500 million in revenue. I didn't understand. They said they only had $337 million in profit, when I thought it was $500 million. But I think that they might have spent more money promoting last year, or I don't know the real reason. I didn't delve into it that much.
Now, do you? Go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you.
Go ahead.
Another thing that I'm wondering, do you think that with the increase in all the options to gamble with the lottery, with the sports book, and all these things, do you think the state of Virginia will now move to creating a gambling-specific credential for counselors? I have. I'm a certified compulsive gambling counselor through the National Council on Problem Gambling, but a lot of states also have, a specific certification for therapists within their state. Do you see Virginia doing that?
Billy, it's going to be a while. It's just they are not. They say they're going to do all these things, and they just never have done them. I mean,
yeah.
It's kind of like the lottery was supposed to all the profits are supposed to be for the schools, to improve the schools,
right?
And that did, but they just took the money that the general fund used to pay. The general fund's not paying it; the lottery's paying it. So it didn't improve schools; it just moved the money around. And they had this big thing about our mission is not to help problem gamblers. Our mission is to help the schools. And so they were very tight spending money. Like for the lottery, they spend $200,000 a year for a hotline. That's it. And that's just to say they've got a hotline. The hotline is not very effective. You know, they send a hotline people to us sometimes, but not very seldom. I mean, it's just it. Somebody that has an addiction, that has an impulse control disorder, and is spending $100 a week on lottery tickets, and they have a problem, and they don't think they have a problem because they're not getting. It's not like a gambling addict.
Right.
Gamble and lose everything. A compulsive gambler might just lose that $100 a week, $100 a day. But $100 a week, that just means that's $5,000 over the course of a year. That means he doesn't eat out to dinner, doesn't go out to dinner.
Right. And that's when you start hearing that whole thing, like you'll hear people say functional alcoholic, or, that's kind of what you're describing is, maybe the person can still pay their bills or whatever, but they still have a problem, with gambling.
Well, they're a functioning gambler.
Yeah.
And the problem with a functioning gambler, unlike a functioning alcoholic, is a functioning gambler. If they go off the wagon and off the rails, they can lose their house in a night.
They get dysfunctional really quick.
Real quick.
And we talked about Super Bowl earlier. That's one of those things. Who knows? How many people went too far? On Super Bowl Sunday, and it's actually been less than a week. We're recording this, on a Thursday, 4 days after the Super Bowl. Within 3 weeks, we might find out that there were actually some folks who went too far.
Well, I'm sure that quite a few people went too far in that they made 5 bets on the Super Bowl, 6 bets on the Super Bowl, 8 bets on the Super Bowl, and they might have lost all of them. Okay, especially with this Super Bowl, if you had an over/under in each quarter, you probably lost all of those. And then if you had Kansas City leading at any of the, I don't think they led it at the end of any quarter. Maybe they did it one, but you lost all of those. So when you can just lose in that 8, they bet, let's say they bet $50 a game, $50 a bet. Well, that's $400
already. Yeah.
Well, they had no idea they were going to lose all these games.
Right.
You never think that if you're a gambler. It's not possible for me to lose 10 games in a row. And it is almost impossible. But I did it a couple of times.
The other thing that I've been hearing about is, some of these sites are giving people like really, really easy bets, where they can win some money up front quick. And for a person that's never gambled before, that's just dabbling or whatever, I mean, that could hook a person in pretty quick.
They are not your friends, Billy.
No, I know that. Trust me, I know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying a lot of people don't. Yeah, they're not your friends, and this is big business, okay? Online sports gambling is a huge business. Virginia is just getting started, but a lot of other states have been doing it for some time. And if you look at the stocks of DraftKings and MGM, which is William Hill, and FanDuel, the people that bought FanDuel and bought DraftKings, people bought both of those. Those stocks have all done extremely well. And the people that started them did extremely well. This is just kind of, it's like a tax on people that can't afford it as much. Because if you're an alcoholic, if you drink, most alcoholics don't drink $20 of booze a day. Okay. Well, that doesn't even get you started gambling, Billy. Really.
Yeah.
You know, we had a patient that lost $5 million in one night.
I know.
I mean, these things happen, and people don't believe all these things that happen until it happens to them, and then it's too daggone late. You know, it's people are going to gamble. Okay, that's going to happen, and 3% might be compulsive functioning gamblers, and 1% are just flat gambling addicts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking 1% of the population, not 1% of the gamblers, because not
Right.
everybody gambles. The question becomes, now that it's legal to bet on sports, how many people that have never bet on sports before are going to start betting on sports? And I'm talking mainly about the females.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're going to have a lot. Right currently, there are no female. You've been at Williamsville for 12 years, 13 years,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that. How many female sport gamblers do we have? Zero?
No. We've had a few, but I mean, if you're looking at comparison, if you wanted a percentage, 2%, 3% of everybody. It's a small number.
Sports, I mean,
If you're
small
saying,
number.
specifically sports betting, yes, it's a small number.
Yeah, and I think that number will grow now that it's not illegal. If you look at our jails, 90% are males, because males do bad things a lot more than females do. Females are scared of doing the wrong thing. Now that it's legal, they might say, well, VCU's playing tonight. I went to VCU. I might bet on VCU. Not having any idea what they're doing. They get all these things. They see the billboards. They see all these the ads on, Facebook. Put $1,000 in, get $1,000.
Yeah.
But that's all. Yeah, that's all funny money. Okay?
Yeah.
You can't take it out until you lost that $1,000. But even if you made it $3,000,
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? That money that they say they give you, you can't get that money back until you've lost that money. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's an old saying, Bob. It's if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And when you're talking about gambling, there's always going to be trickery to some degree.
Well, it's I'm in Florida, okay, sunny Florida, temperature's great, 80
It looks
degrees.
warm there.
Yes, Billy, I'm in southern Florida.
Oh
I'm
man.
in Hollywood, Florida.
See, now you're
Hollywood,
bragging.
Florida. Yeah, and I played golf this morning, though, Billy. I played golf. Well, this the longest golf course in Florida.
How'd you
Which I
do?
didn't play the back tee. I played awful. But you could see in the distance, you could see this hotel that was shaped like a guitar.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. It
And
sounds like the Hard Rock Hotel, huh?
It was the Hard Rock Hotel. And I thought, goodness gracious, I'm not getting anywhere. This is as close as I'm going to get to it. I can see it. But they've got a lot of casinos down here. They got Seminole. You see all these casinos, and most of them run by the Indian tribes because they can do it legally here. It's not technically legal in Florida, but the Indian tribes paid the state taxes. It's just, and all of this, in my opinion, all of this lends itself to a lower standard of living in our country, and it affects our GDP greatly. It's a negative drag on our GDP, which means you get less jobs out of this than if it wasn't there. And it's just, I'm not in favor of just throwing money out the door of a car driving down the road, and that's about what gambling is,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And in these areas, the more people that are struggling with money, then gambling's going to look like an easy way to make more money, have a part-time job, whatever, all the, and then once the illness takes over, forget about it. So that's kind of scary. What else is going on?
It's very, well. My son's coming down today, and his wife and my grandson. They're flying in today, just for a couple of days. And we've been having a good time down here.
That's great.
I got my COVID shot. Did you get your COVID shot today, Billy?
I got my COVID shot today. Yes, I did. Right here,
right
here in the arm, right there, Bob. Yeah. And yours was last week. You got it?
I got it last week in Edenton, North Carolina. And I just got a notice from Florida, because I registered in Florida too. And I haven't read they just texted me. I don't know if you heard the noise, but they just texted me about, I signed up. I signed up in Broward County and in Nassau County, because I own a house in Florida, so I could sign up in Florida. They just texted, but I don't need it now. And I don't need it now. So I'll text them back.
When do you get your second shot? So a month, right? A month from last
March
week?
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Okay.
March 4th. So if you got it today, which today's the 11th.
Yeah. I'm going back on the 11th of March.
The 11th.
Yeah.
But that's the only state. This is the only month you can figure that in, Billy, because February only has 28 days.
Yeah.
It's the very fourth year.
Well, I mean, I'm glad they didn't schedule me for February 30th then.
That would have been terrible. That wouldn't have been good.
That would have been terrible.
But I'm just telling you, Williamsville and Summit Hill are doing a lot to help problem gamblers and their families with this disease, this illness, and we'd like to continue. We will continue to help them. Well, when I'm gone, I hope. So,
Bob, don't be going anywhere now. You can't just.
Well, I might retire at some point in time, Billy.
What? I will be shocked if you retire. I will be shocked.
Well, my wife doesn't want me to retire, so I don't guess I will.
Yeah, it'll be a fake retirement. He'll fake his retirement, because what would happen is Bob would say, "I'm retired," and then 5 days later he'd be like, "Billy, what's going on?" Billy, I need something. I'd be like, "I thought you were retired."
Okay, well, Billy, we will meet next Thursday at
Okay.
4:20. Bob Cabness and Billy Hoffman. Have a great week and behave yourself. Take care.
Yes, take care. I'll see you, Bob.